Hi friends, I'm Erin. This is Erin Go Live. This is going to be kind of a compilation weekly weekend reading vlog. Basically, I had way too much footage. It was going to be really, really long, and so I'm just going to kind of take the bits and pieces, put them together. I may pop in to introduce something that would otherwise not make sense based on the lack of context. But I do finish one book. The book that I finish in this vlog is going to be Pastrix by Nadia Bolz-Weber, The Cranky Beautiful Faith of a Sinner and Saint. So I finished that book, and then I'm also reading The Shining by Stephen King in this. There's some other books that might pop in here and there. One in particular, like I rarely don't like books or have strong negative opinions about books, but there is one coming up. Just want to pop into to just acknowledge everybody for the love and support that they've shown on my last video regarding my problems with alcohol. So I just really appreciate you guys, and I shared it because I want to be transparent. It helps me process things, but also, you know, if somebody else is struggling in the same position, I want you to feel seen and heard, and because I know that is helping me in my own process. Welcome to my office. Welcome back me to my office, because I haven't needed to be here in quite a long time. I was kind of in the area. I had physical therapy, which is like kind of in the same hood, and I had to come by and pick up my focus Men's Ease. So my friend, who's my office is in her practice, is a Chinese herbalist and acupuncturist, and she had given me these for like my really bad cramps. Really needed these yesterday, still needing these today, so I came here to pick these up. I really want to go to the library, but I don't think any of my local libraries are actually open on Monday, so I'm going to check on that. But I'm craving Stephen King, and most of my books are packed up right now. I don't have any unpacked Stephen King, and I think The Stand might be the only actually Stephen King that I have that I haven't read. Oh no, wait, I think I have oh, what is the one? It was the movie The Green Mile. I think I have that one too, but again, they're packed. So I started watching this guy named Nick. His channel is called Books Are Sick, and he just started reading like maybe 2 years ago, and not like he didn't learn to read, like started like became a reader. And he started his channel at the end of last year, and he's just super entertaining, and he's Canadian, and I just want to be his best friend. And he's super into Stephen King. Like, even though he's only been reading for like 2 years, he's read like 20 Stephen Kings already. And he's just really kind of got me in the mood for it. And so I'm thinking I would like to pick up one of his scarier books, because I've never read a scary Stephen King. 11/22/63 I've read. Misery, that's kind of a scary one, but it's not like real scary. I love Misery though. The Long Walk. Trying to do fingers when I'm holding this. The Long Walk, which is a Richard Bachman book, is incredible, and I would like to reread that, but I want to read more King before I read that. On Writing, actually, his nonfiction was fantastic. I especially enjoyed that when I was writing my book. So I'm going to attempt to go to the library, but that might not work. I might have to save that to tomorrow. Pretty sure I've never come to you from out here before, outside my front door here, my front door for now, that is. My mom's doing a phone or like telehealth psych appointment, and she doesn't seem to mind, but I really don't like being able to kind of be like in earshot of the conversation. She's just like chilling in the living room about to start this, and I'm like, I feel like I want to give you some privacy. So yeah, so it's like a really nice day, so I'm out here. So, anyway, got a lot of stuff going on, but I think I'm going to save that for another video, and let's just talk about reading. So I realized as I was pulling up, oh gosh, Mr. Flood's, I cannot remember the name of that dang book, and I'm probably going to have to restart it, because I was trying to listen to it in the gym, and I kept, like, missing the same part, and being like, wait, what are we talking about? Just like my mind is in too many places, and this might not be a good time to be doing an audiobook at all. But when I was doing that on the Libby app, I realized that Everything Sad is Untrue, which I'm reading via Kindle through Libby, that loan ends in 3 days. So I need to, that's lesson in chemistry. I'm not reading that. That's just what it's suggesting for me. I need to really get to that. But I did end up picking up, I've got like a stack here. I did end up picking up, sorry, that's my mom's dog, if you can hear that. Did end up picking up The Shining by Stephen King. I don't love this cover. I don't like the shiny ones. There's some really cool editions of his books that are like these matte finishes, and they're like the larger than, this is not like a trade paperback size as opposed to a mass market. I really like those ones. My copy of Misery and I think The Green Mile are like that, and but they didn't have that they didn't have The Shining in that option. So read the first chapter of this when I was having coffee earlier. And then also, I need to start just getting deeper into As Long as You Need by J.S. Park. I'm right about the halfway point of this, but it's a short book. And for whatever reason, I have a hard time making good headway in short books. Like, I tend to read short books in short stints. And this is about a chaplain who is just, he's talking about grief. The grief that he's dealing with, the grief that he deals with every day with his patients. And this is the book that has inspired me to become a chaplain. Just got an email from admissions office, or the dean's office actually, for one of the schools I'm looking into. I'm probably gonna have an interview with them like later in the week. I've got another admissions call for a university that's more local. I would still do it online, but it's local to me. I actually used to walk from the hospital that my husband was at in Marin County to this seminary and like take a book and then just go sit. Like, the grounds were beautiful, and I would just there and read like on a bench there. First thing I need to do is Everything Sad is Untrue, and that is I can never remember. I don't know the name of the author because I'm reading it on the Kindle. And so I'm not like seeing the cover of the book or anything like that. And it is really cool because it's a true story, it's a memoir, told in the style of 1001 Arabian Nights. So this kid, I'm not sure how old he is, but he's in Oklahoma. He's a refugee. His family are refugees in Oklahoma, and he's telling us the stories from Iran and them moving from Iran to Oklahoma and everything. And in the story of 1001 Arabian Nights, which he references multiple times. Really, really cool. My arm is like, I worked out earlier and my shoulder is like ready to be done. So I'm going to shut up and start reading Everything Sad is Untrue and The Shining. So out walking Stevie, and yesterday I got him this whole gentle leader thing where you put the thing goes around their snout. It has made a world of difference. I have not walked this dog in forever because he was just such a puller, such a pain. Did the whole chain thingy, like the slip chain thing, and he just would let himself just get choked and like didn't care and just be like, and just, it was just so bad. And whenever we were around other dogs, he would just like lunge or just, I'm holding on for dear life, and it just wasn't worth it. And there was this one time my nephew had him, and Sammy was probably 9, and so like 2.5 years ago, and he just like totally lunged after this dog that this older lady had, and the lady fell down. It was like, and then this old man was there who wasn't related, and he like yelled at Sam, and it was like this whole thing. It was terrible, and I felt so bad for Sammy. Like, he did nothing wrong, and it kind of traumatized me, and it really kept me from taking him out and walking him. And so this, like, we just walked by some dogs, and he was interested, and he kind of tried to go, but it like totally kept him in check. So come on, buddy. I think now might be a good time to do the whole 24-hour readathon thing. And the internet actually is down. So we have no cable or internet. I can't stream anything. I'm not going to be watching Jeopardy with the parents tonight. Can't crush them and embarrass them at Jeopardy tonight. So yeah, I think I'm going to do the 24-hour readathon thing. So the only thing I have coming up is I have 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. I have a phone therapy session. I think that's all I have tomorrow. At some point, my mom and I are going to take them something over to storage, piece of furniture over to storage. But really, I don't have a lot going on. So I might, it's 5:55 right now. So maybe we'll say like 7 to 7. 7 o'clock tonight, or 6:30 tonight to 6:30 tomorrow, something like that, and just see how much I can get read. So yeah, let's go do that. So it's 11:30, doing pretty well. I finished Everything Sad is Untrue and loved it. 5 stars. Just, it was so good. it didn't even occur to me until I was putting into Storygraph. It's a middle grade book, which I'm just thinking that we have like a child narrator and we're getting it in his voice. It just didn't even occur to me. I just was really enjoying it. So yeah, so it'd be appropriate for, your middle graders, but as a grown up, I really freaking loved it, and I'm excited for the book club discussion about it. And now back to The Shining. So I just finished chapter 3. We're just kind of getting this setup. Jack has lost his job at the high school. He's taking this job as like the caretaker over the winter months of this Colorado hotel. Wife is Wendy. Daniel is the 5-year-old son, and we're getting all of their perspectives. So at this point, Jack is just getting kind of like the rundown on the operations, the boiler, the plumbing, that kind of stuff that he's going to be needing to know to take care of the hotel. Getting a little bit of information about lots of people die here. It's a hotel. It's been operating since 1910. People die of heart attacks, overdoses, like all this kind of stuff. It just happens over the years. It probably happens at the Biltmore in New York. People talk about hotels being haunted, whatever. I've never seen anything. The guy who's like teaching him all this. And meanwhile, we're getting a little bit of history into Jack, and maybe some violence in his past, kind of a temper situation. And yeah, it's going really well so far. Gonna get as much read as I can now and early in the morning, and then I'll be back at it in the afternoon. It is 12:45. I made it through chapter 7, so I made it through part 1, and Red Rum has made an appearance. So little Danny has got some interesting thoughts in his head, let's say, and like a special friend. I didn't remember that part. Like I feel like I've seen The Shining on multiple occasions, but there's just like those kind of like iconic scenes that are in my mind, and I hadn't really like internalized the full story. And then of course there's the difference between the book and the movie, and I think we're getting a lot more earlier in the book than we get in the movie. I mean, it's like a 650-page book, so there's a lot that's not going to be in the movie. But yeah, I'm getting pretty tired, and I didn't think I was going to be able to keep going on without... Right on cue there, I'm yawning. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it much further without just falling asleep, and I got to the end of part 1, so it was a good stopping point. So I'll be up early. I have like way more tomorrow than I wanted to be doing tomorrow, but it should still be a good reading day regardless. All right, good morning. It's Tuesday morning. It's about 7:45, and I didn't stay up all night, but I did not sleep a lot. So I went to bed late. You saw that, and then I woke up I don't even remember if I did. I don't think I did a check-in when I woke up at like 4 something. I couldn't sleep, came out to the couch, read for maybe 20 or 30 pages, and then just kind of rolled over on the couch and slept for another, I don't know, a couple hours maybe. And so I think I've been up since about 6:30. So did like my morning gratitude and Bible stuff, and then back into The Shining, and just got to the titular word. And I had never even thought about this, but watching the movie, I had no clue what The Shining actually meant. Like, there's reason for it. And I'm gonna have to go back after I watch the movie, or after I read the book and watch the movie again, and find out, like, do we get more of an inkling about what The Shining is, and is it more than just like a creepy, scary movie? Because that's really all I remember. But again, it's been a really long time since I've seen it, and I never watched it. Like, it might even be one of those things too where I've rarely seen it from start to finish. It's one of those, like, it's on, it's on, like, I don't know, A&E or whatever, and so you start watching it. So anyhow, I'm gonna read this for a little while. I have a telehealth therapy appointment at 9, and so I want to go for a walk before then, so I'll probably read until about 8:15 or so, walk for like a half an hour, come back, get ready for my call, and then get on with the day.
do a 24-hour reading challenge right now. Like, I'm busy all day long today. I think I just forgot how busy I was going to be when I thought, like, oh, this is a really good idea. And I was going to say full disclosure, but it's actually not going to be full disclosure. Vaguely, got a lot of stuff going on right now, in my mind, in my feelings, in my life. And I think I was just looking for something to, like, do to challenge myself, something that I could control. Like, can I stay up late and read a lot? And I was just looking for some sort of, like, challenge that I could control, because I'm feeling not a lot of control in a lot of different ways. I'll tell you about some stuff later, if not in this video, just like in the future. Anyhow, I'm really looking forward, though, to getting home this evening and getting back into Pet Sematary. Not Pet Sematary. What is this? The Shining. Really interested in getting back into this. It's really, really good. It's just, his writing is just so, like, propulsive and compelling. And like, yeah, I'll, like, look up and I'm like, oh, wow. I feel like it's been 3 minutes and I just read 20 pages. Cool. And I'm not a fast reader. I mean, that's not, like, a literal thing, but that's what it feels like. So that's a good thing, especially when we're talking about, like, a 650-page book. And I'm excited to read. Like, I'm excited to read this, and it's got me excited to read more Stephen King, because he's one that I think everything I've read from him I've really enjoyed. I can't think of anything of his that I have read that I haven't liked. I just haven't gone very deep into his oeuvre. So anyway, I'm going to go meet the fam in the gym, and I'll catch up with you at some point.
All right, it's 5 o'clock on Thursday, and my mom's going to be coming home from doing some errands and stuff in a little while. It's like 90 degrees. Is that? It's 89 degrees, and we got to go move some furniture, so that'll be fun. We got a desk that's been in the back of her van for a while. We need to put that into storage so we can get it out of her van. And then I've got to go. So the news on the house, we've accepted an offer. We are officially pending and in escrow. Ended up basically getting the list price. Originally, they lowballed us, and they came up to the list price and a couple other kind of contingencies in there. So it's, like, exciting, but also super nerve-wracking. And there's paperwork that I need that I just, like, didn't think about or realize that I was going to need that's already in storage. So my house is in a trust. I have to get the trust, like, they need, like, the first few pages of the trust. And there was something else that's in, Sam's death certificate, which is in the filing cabinet that's already in storage. You're about to see a clip of me talking about Pastrix by Nadia Bolz-Weber. Pastrix is a term used to describe a female pastor, which in some denominations is not acceptable. I think it's Titus or 2 Timothy where it talks about that, like women not being essentially teachers, biblical teachers to men. The Lutheran Church now allows that, as do many other denominations. So this is her memoir, and just kind of, she has a very kind of like, she's all tattooed, if you can see that. It's a little kind of like a ragtag misfit congregation, and that's the way she wants it. It's just her story of being this pastor and collecting these people in order to worship together. I am just about halfway through this right now, like almost exactly halfway through this now. Really, really enjoying this. It's just really, really readable. She's very relatable. She very much is, like, the gospel is in here, but she's also dropping F-bombs and just really is real, and it's resonating with me. I feel like I use that word resonating a lot. I feel like it's one of those words that just became really popular all of a sudden, but I don't know, it's like, it's a good word. It means, I feel like it's really applicable. So anyway, while I'm waiting for my mom, I'm going to get back into this. I would love to be able to finish this today. We just took a big desk over to the storage unit. I had to get Sam's death certificate out of there. I had to dig that out. Cannot find the binder with the trust or the trust binder, which is, I think it's just buried in there in a place where I'm just not gonna be able to get it. So I'm gonna have to get it from my lawyer, a copy of it from my lawyer. And meanwhile, the flip up thingy of the, like how the, in a van, how you can flip up like the captain's chairs, it's misaligned on one of them, and it's like dangerous. It could pop out or whatever if we got in an accident. And my mom is so stubborn. We've tried to do this before. She like won't let it go, and I'm like, just take it in, have them do it. And meanwhile, I'm just like hungry and tired and bothered, and I just want to go home, and I'm captive. Help. And just as I said that, she got it. Hallelujah. So it's Friday morning. I'm sitting here in bed, if you couldn't tell. It's probably like 8:30 or something. I didn't check before I started, but my niece just got here. The 5-year-old got here. She doesn't have school on Fridays. Big kids are at school, and they're gonna end up spending the night tonight. We haven't seen them a whole lot recently, and so yeah, we're gonna have them overnight, which, like, love them, but it's one of those things where it's like, I really want to read and I want to finish my book, and so it's gonna, like, I'm not, unless we did a cozy reading night, which we didn't plan ahead of time, which they need to bring their books and everything. Plus we have Charlie, so it would be really difficult to do it with Charlie because she doesn't read, she's 5. Yeah, so I want to finish Pastrix, but Charlie just shooed me away. She wanted the living room and the TV to herself to watch Avatar. She's like, are you gonna go to your room and are you gonna go to your room to read? And I was like, do you want me to? I'm like, okay, cool, I can do that. So I put the Avatar episode she wanted on, and now I get to read. And so I have about 70 pages left, so we'll see how far I can get in this. So it's 11:15 on Saturday morning. Kids spent the night last night. I had book club last night, and kids are now home, and I just feel like super restless. I did finish Pastrix this morning. I really enjoyed it. The story, her just kind of journey, just kind of the ins and outs a little bit of being a kind of radical, I suppose, outside of the box pastor, being a tattooed woman who swears, really kind of bringing in like misfits into her church, and that kind of being her people with the changing demographics look like in terms of she gains kind of some notoriety. She ends up preaching at Red Rocks and in front of like 10,000 people, and because of that, she gets an influx of new, a little bit more like khaki clad, Dockers clad, like typical white Christian showing up at the church, and she kind of has to grapple with that a bit. So as much as I enjoyed the memoir, I don't know what the point was. So it was very much her story, but I just wasn't finding in this overall theme, other than like it's okay to be a outside of the box Christian. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about that. I read it super fast. I read it mostly in 2 days. I read like the last maybe 30 pages last night, but I'm super happy that my friend gave it to me, and I felt some her story resonated with me. So as it relates to my own issues, I just started reading Huntley Drinkly. No, it began with Huntley Brinkley by Janie Becker. And this, the Huntley Brinkley thing is that the author and her family, when she was a kid, I think she was 12 when it started, during NBC NewsHour with Chester Huntley and somebody Becker, they would have cocktail hour, and they allowed the girls to participate in this. So it starts this like daily drinking habit of hers. She's also bipolar. I just know that from like the premise of the book or the subtitle. Yeah, A Journey Through Alcoholism and Bipolar Disorder. And so far, it is so boring. There is so much useless information. Like, I don't need to know about, like, your maternal grandmother, or, like, there's just so much information that is, I don't care. And so I'm just kind of, like, skimming along and hoping I can get to a point that is actually relevant to me, or, like, the point that she's actually making. So based on the acknowledgments, it looks like this was a very amateur writer. I mean, it's a memoir, so a lot of people who write memoirs aren't necessarily writers by trade. And so she's thinking like her teacher in her creative writing class, and then like the people in her writing group. Man, there needs to be so much more editing. And just what I keep coming back to is that when I was writing my book, there are plenty of stories that I could have told that happened over the course of the time I was 15 to 40, but they weren't all relevant. And so my editor was always saying, like, does this deserve to be in the book? How does this serve the message that you're trying to portray? And so far, like, other than telling us the premise of the book, like, I don't care. Her mom has postpartum depression. She's going to end up with bipolar at some point. Janie, the author. So, like, maybe the postpartum depression and the lack of nurturing from her mother is important at this point, but I'm like 25 pages in, and like that's the only salient point so far. On page 119, we get to the first episode. This is not going well. I just can't with this book. I've gotten to the point, by completely skipping ahead, that she was actually having some mental illness and things like that. The drinking is still going on, but not like any detail about the severity of that, at least not yet. And I just don't care. It's just like not quite listing. There's nothing special at all about the language. It's like, and then this, and so this. Then I went here, and then I went there, and that didn't work, so I went there, and I needed my job back, and blah, 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 blah. I don't care. It's over. All right, it's Sunday morning, and I am well over halfway-ish, close to about 2/3 way through The Shining, and I'm noticing this, like, style where we, like, zoom in to this like really intense what is happening, like scary moment, and then we like zoom back out, and it's just like it's in and out, so it never gets like too intense, and then you're back to kind of looking at like the bigger picture, or like you get your wits about you again. And I don't remember from the movie like if we ever experienced that with Wendy, like if she's ever like seeing things, because we know Danny has the Shining, and so he has this ability to like see into people's minds, and like he has these like visions of things that are happening. And this is like largely having to do with, as on the cover, room 217, and Jack though is also like seeing things and having these the dogs are going to be. So in addition to Danny having the Shining and having these like in his mind experiences, Jack is kind of cracking up too. And so it's like, how much of this is actually happening in the house? How much is just happening like in their minds? Is Wendy going to start seeing things, or is she just kind of the outsider seeing the impact of Jack and Danny? So I'm interested to see where this goes. Again, I'm like a little bit influenced by my memory of the movie, but it's literally just like iconic scenes that are in my mind from the movie, and I don't have that great like overall picture of what really was happening as far as the overall story goes, aside from the individual scenes.
So that's going to do it for this vlog. Thank you for watching. Remember, every day is a great day for a great day, no matter what.